Time and time again, the topic of understanding one's privilege as a white teacher in an urban classroom comes up. Michi says, substantial privilege comes with being a white person in America, unearned benefits that someone like me acquires simply by the virtue of my skin color. As seen in this video and in Michi's writing, those with privilege are the last to realize it. But once they do, they can come out of the closet of ignorance and denial and begin to gain credibility with students and colleagues of color. One clear example of this ignorance is evident in this story. A white teacher is giving advice to a Mexican immigrant student who is having trouble getting his homework completed. Just go in your room, close the door, shut out all the noise, and focus on your work. The student did not have a room of his own or a door that closed. Apparently, that never occurred to the teacher. There are many factors that influence one's education. We have already seen how race can affect one's life. Other factors are gender, economic status, gangs, and violence. Let's focus on gangs. When Michi first started teaching, he says he had a mentality that it was him against them, a classic scenario of good guys versus bad, and there was no middle ground. But he soon learned from other teachers that this was not the case, and after being around his students, he began to understand it more. Michi later goes on to describe the decision to join a gang as less of a choice and more of a surrender. Due to the buildup of a tough society where the value of their diploma is less than ever, they surrender, because in their eyes, there's no better choices left. Unlike Michi, Richard Valimar, the author of Can Education Cure Gang Members, published in Police, the law enforcement magazine, does not agree that joining a gang is a surrender. He states, in my experience, it's the individual's antisocial and anti-authority attitudes chosen early in life that more than often cause the learning problem. He goes even further to say, education is not enough. It's not an elixir to cure the diseases of immorality or an upbringing steeped in situational ethics. It can't teach the gift of empathy for another human being. Browsing through the comments, it's clear to see that Valdemar is not alone in the way he feels about youth gang members and so-called troublemakers. As he goes on to bash education, saying that it's ineffective in helping gang members, he provides no solutions. Valdemar says gang members have no empathy, but he himself shows none. An article published by the Chicago Tribune analyzed dropout rates in schools and its ties to gang violence. The article states the statistics and makes the connection that when students drop out, they're more likely to join a gang. Again, I was most interested in the solutions. Some included having state-funded summer school, possibly raising the minimum mandatory days of attendance, and higher consequences for falsifying school records. But what does this do for the students dropping out? Politicians saying, "You must do this," won't change their mind. What are we doing to make these kids want to go to school?